Congress and Indo-China relationships. Now, before I say anything about this, guys, I would like to make one thing very clear. I have an issue with the Congress because I consider it the party which was responsible for the 1984 anti-Sikh riots. And rather than punishing the guilty, the instigator of those riots, it has actively protected those individuals. So I do have an issue with the Congress party as such. So my opinions may be biased, but I'm still sharing it with you guys. So, but I want everybody to be clear that my opinions could be biased. Now, we as India has always had issues with China, but what's the main reason behind those issues? Let's take the recent example of the Indian government openly supporting the Nobel Peace Prize. That Nobel Peace Prize is a political statement. It's a direct case of meddling into internal affairs of China. If Indian government is going to support that, then every person in India who stands up against government policies and leads out public processions which are peaceful, he should be awarded a Nobel Peace Prize as well. No country has got any right to interfere in the internal affairs of another country. China is one of the most successful economists in today's world. If they are successful, there must be some reason for it. The number of poor people in China has reduced. Something must be working for them. If someone in China is not happy with the government, it's their internal issue. And if he wants to have a say, he should talk to his people. We as outsiders should not promote him or anyone else. It's their issue. Let them sort it out. But the thing is, will this thing improve in relations between India and China? China is our neighbor. And when your house is on fire, it's your neighbor which is the first one to come to your rescue. The fire brigades and emergency services come much later. And in fact, sometimes it's your neighbor who calls those fire extinguishers and emergency services. The first one to come to your rescue in your need is your neighbor. And our neighbor is China. And we are not improving our relationships with them. All we are doing is aggravating the situation that we have with them. But why do we have the situation with them in the first place? I was reading a bit of historical perspective on why the issue with China started. Now, just to mention, China became a communist country 1 year after Indian independence. And since that time, China has progressed by leaps and bounds while India is still struggling with lots and lots of issues. We are still nowhere close to China as far as development is concerned. Now, that said and done, why do we have issues with China? Well, thanks to the Britishers, we had we had boundary dispute with China. Well, but then Britishers didn't give us a mess with China only. They created a mess for us with Pakistan as well. And even that mess and the mess we have with China, they are partly a responsibility of the British, and more of it is a responsibility of the then Congress regimes. Mahatma Gandhi ji clearly told respected Sir Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru ji that we don't want to rule. If if Jinnah wants to rule, let him be the prime minister, you be his deputy. But with all due respect, nobody has ever overcome the greed for power, the greed to be the one ruler. And that's the whole truth between the division of India into India and Pakistan. Both people wanted to rule. For their rule, lakhs of lives were lost during that partition. So even our problems with Pakistan are a gift of the then Congress regime. Even the Kashmir issue is a gift of the Congress regime. Indian army was given a go-ahead very late to go and protect Kashmir because the Kashmiri ruler, he took ages to sign up with India. And when the Indian army was in a position to thwart the invaders and get the whole Jammu and Kashmir rid of the invaders, then ruling party president, he decided to go to the UNO. He asked the armed forces to stop the hostilities, and he said that I'll go to UNO and get the invaders evacuated. United Nations organization, an obsolete and non-performing entity, even when it was created. All it did was it created a line of control. And since that time, we have got issues with Pakistan. We had boundary issues with China, thanks to the Britishers. But did the Congress regime help in that? With all due respect to the Congress regime of that time and the then leader, very respected Sir Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru ji, when Mao Zedong came to power in China, he should have supported that government in China. It was not our business to support the ousted leader at that time. That sowed the seeds of doubt. And then, okay, we are an independent country and we are a country of brave people. That's good. And anyone who comes to our rescue, who comes to us for safety, he is welcome, and we'll protect that person with our life. Dalai Lama ji, respected Dalai Lama ji, he needed help. It's good. We showed that we are real men by giving him shelter. But we shouldn't have allowed him to do political propaganda against our own neighbor, because that's only aggravated problems for us. He wanted help, we have given them help. If more people from Tibet need help, we will provide them shelter. But we shouldn't interfere in their political matters, because that is causing trouble between us and our neighbor. Anyway, I somehow hold the Congress party, which has been in power most of the time in post-independence, for all the mess we have. Not just with China, on many other political and economic issues as well. But anyway, all those things are for some other video. Thanks for watching this one.